Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Michael Pokey here. Well, this title, hey, this isn't a fall on your sword sort of video, but it's hopefully somewhat educational to make you realize that not everything goes right all the time. And I wanted to showcase 6 Pokemon card investments that I sort of got wrong. And this isn't to be a negative video. There's actually a real positive undertone to this video. And it'll sort of showcase as you're watching it what that positive undertone is. But I just wanted to make you realize that, all these videos that people do, including myself, regarding, what products to invest in and what knowledge to learn, is all pretty damn important, because you can very quickly go down a rabbit hole of spending a lot of money on Pokemon products that may not ever really appreciate, or certainly might not even appreciate over the next 5 years. So you could just be parking money in dead space. And what really is the point of that if it's an investment? If you're collecting it and displaying it, fine, that's different, that's collecting. But if your aim is to actually make some money over some time, which is what investing is, then learning from other people's mistakes, including mine, is really important. So let's jump straight into it. I'm going to count down these 6 worst Pokemon investments that I've made. Hey, before we do though, before we cut to them, I just wanted to say, or the guys from Pocket Decks wanted to say, a big thank you to everyone that's downloaded the app. Here it is here. These guys are starting to get this off the ground. It's really been gaining some traction, and I've been super happy to support them throughout the process. You're basically your one-stop collecting app. Currently, it's on Apple. There's plans to move it on to Android, so that is coming. All the people in the comments that have been saying, is it coming to Android? You scan your cards, you add them to the collection, you can add friends on there. It's like almost like a social collecting app. You can add your friends on there, see what collections they've got. You can literally click on all your sets. It'll show you the percentage that you completed. If you need new cards, you can click on them, go straight into TCG Player, buy them. There's other new things coming in the app, which is really exciting. So the guys just wanted to say a massive thank you. And appreciate the They've appreciated the feedback that they've seen in the comments section of this video, and hopefully it's going to grow. We're going to see things like sealed products being added. We're going to see things like dollar values and growth on cards, and graphs and data added to the app. So there's only bigger and better things to come for them. So good luck, guys. I'm glad that I've run it, or I'm happy that I've run it for a fortnight for you. Anyway, into the video. The 6 worst investments I've made. So number 6 on the list, Darkness Ablaze Booster Box. And when I said there's going to be a little bit of a positive undertone running through this video, that's really the way I want you guys to see it, because we don't always get everything right. But even this box, even though it's my 6th worst investment that I've made throughout the sealed Pokemon investing journey, it's still up. Now, not everything is. Number 1 is not up. But I guess the positive undertone I wanted to talk about is, everyone's bought things that haven't gone well. Like everyone's had, or most people should have had across their lifetime, maybe you've bought some shares. And if you look at your share portfolio, you might have bought 5, 10, 20, like you bought into heaps of different companies. You might have tried to diversify, because that's what all the beginner advice says, diversify your portfolio. And you know what? Some of those companies could have taken dreadful losses. Like we could be talking 40, 50, 60, even like 80 or 90% down. If you buy a sort of blue chip stock at, trading at 40 cents and it dips down to 4 cents, like you've lost the majority of your money, haven't you? And that's one thing, I suppose, the positive undertone I want to show here. Even if it's a bad investment, it's really not all that bad. So here we have, of course, Darkness Ablaze coming at number 6, the booster box. These weren't easy to get. Well, I shouldn't say they weren't easy to get. They were very easy to get. They weren't easy to get cheap when they got released. And the reason they weren't easy to get cheap is because, of course, Pokemon was during that this is during that COVID phase where Pokemon products were seen to be just like, there was this weird imagined scarcity around them when they weren't really scarce at all. And we found that out, of course, with sets like Darkness Ablaze, where it's still pretty damn readily available to buy at near on retail price. So to give you an idea, I paid $115 for this box, and its current TCG price, I bought a case of them. Its current TCG price is $145. So you might say, well, that's not too bad. That's up 20%, but this is still one of my worst investments over. And I'm going to talk you through time frame as well. So I bought this 4 years ago. So if you sort of average that out over 4 years, and this is really where the worst part of it comes from, because you could go, oh, well, that, Paradox Rift Elite Trainer box in the background there. Surely, that's gone up 0%. So I'm talking over a longer period of time here. So this Darkness Ablaze booster box, 25% over 4 years. You can do the maths there. It's working out under 7% per year, which is not a great return on investment, particularly if you went to sell it, you'd cop all those fees and charges and postage, etc. Number 5 here, the Alakazam V box. This features, of course, Vivid Voltage booster packs. Same time, when Vivid Voltage came out, there was actually a fair bit of hype around the set, and you'll probably notice a fair few of these products that I'm talking about are from Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze, like early Sword and Shield sort of era. So I paid $18 for this box if we convert it, and its current price is $22. Same thing, you might go, well, that's not too bad. It's gone up roughly 20%. But in the same notion, dollar cost that out or average that out over the 4 years that I've owned it, and I'm sitting at a very measly increase of 5%. And postage on this box, it's not the smallest item, would well and truly eat up any profit that you've made. So as an investment, it's pretty much been dead money. I just thought, it's got a Gen 1 Pokemon, Alakazam at the time. Vivid Voltage was a red hot set at the time when it came out. It's obviously not now. It's been overshadowed by so many Sword and Shield sets. But it just shows that, sometimes, like I was saying, you can definitely get it wrong. Next cab off the rank, coming in at number 4, is a Vivid Voltage booster box. Again, I bought a case of these. I've got 6. I paid, again, they weren't easy to get cheap at the time. I paid what I paid for the Darkness Ablaze booster boxes, which is $115 US. These are currently sitting at $132. Bought these, of course, 4 years ago, which is an increase of roughly 14% over 4 years. If you work that out, you're sitting at about 3.5% increase over 4 years. And if you went to sell these Vivid Voltage booster boxes, you would be in some dire straits because postage and eBay fees would well and truly eat up any of that 3.5% profit that I made per year, sitting at 14% profit. So that is my 4th worst investment that I've made. And, notes can be taken around this for future advantage. Like when it comes to Scarlet and Violet and going in heavy on booster boxes, we really need to wait and see. Like there's really no harm in waiting and seeing. It's like Fusion Strike. Waiting until that was, on the precipice of selling out, and I've talked through strategies around this multiple times recently of figuring out when a set is close to being on the brink of, running out of supply and running out of stock. We really need to look at that for modern Scarlet and Violet sets, that whole supply-demand curve. If demand is far outweighing supply, even with reprints that get eaten up, we're going to see sets just increase in price. Like Lost Origin is a prime example. Started going up in price after the first print wave, and a reprint came, it dipped back down in price, and soon enough, it's gone straight back up again. That shows that demand is far outweighing supply, and that set will do well long term. That never really happened with sets like Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage, and then we get stuck in this sort of setup where we've paid a certain price for a box. It's gone up a little bit over time, but it hasn't really changed much. So I guess I would be wary with sets like maybe Obsidian Flames, Paradox Rift. Just be a bit careful going in heavy into those sets, because what reason do they have to just magically go up? Things will only go up if demand starts outweighing supply. So please keep that in the back of your mind. And my 3rd worst investment is this nice, or beautiful I should say, Burning Shadows booster box from Sun and Moon era. When I bought this, I bought it at a stage where I bought Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, and Burning Shadows booster box, all in pretty quick succession. The one I missed out on was Team Up because it had just already started to move to that price point, which was making me a little bit uncomfortable. I should have bought it, of course. It's absolutely gone to the moon. I thought Burning Shadows would follow a similar sort of trend to Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds, Team Up, Cosmic Eclipse, etc. Because, I know it's a one-trick pony. Like the big chase card is that Rainbow Charizard GX, and pull rates weren't great. Yeah, there's a few other little trainers in there that are worth a little bit of money, but really it's a one-trick pony, and that's maybe what hurt it a little bit. I ended up buying this at that stage where it matured a little bit. I've had it for only 3 years. At the time, it had already increased rapidly. I paid about $365 US for this card. US dollars for this box, and it's currently worth about 413 US dollars. So I guess it's moved in the realm of about 13% in the 3 years that I've owned it. And again, if you work that out over 3 years, we're sitting at about 4% per year. So it's not much of an increase at all. I was hoping this would do a bit more. It started to make a little bit of a move in the last 2 to 3 months. It was sort of always hovering around that, in Australian dollars I'm talking at the moment, 600 Australian dollars, and now it's sort of ticked up to 750 Australian dollars. So it's starting to make a bit of a move. But you can't always get it right, can you? You've really got to get in just before that massive boost. Now, this box could well take another massive boost. Maybe in 3 or 4 years' time, this could be a 6, 7, 800 US dollar booster box, and it'll double in price again as it gets older and rarer. But at this moment, it hasn't really done a great deal over the last 3 years. And number 2 on the list, this Vivid Voltage Build and Battle Kit. Hey, what a shame. I paid about 34 US dollars for this, and it's currently worth 34 US dollars. I've had it for about 3.5 years, so I've made 0% profit. And I bought into it because, you know what, the cards you can actually have a chance of getting out of this, the promos, are really, really strong. That's the main reason I bought it. There's a stamped Lugia and a stamped Charizard that you can pull out of this. You got 4 promos that you could possibly get. So you got basically a 50% chance of getting the Lugia or the Charizard. And I thought, you know what, this could sort of follow similar trends to the XY Evolutions Build and Battle Kit, where you could pull, the OG Charizard or the OG Mewtwo as a stamped promo. And I thought this thing could perform really, really well. And at the time, there was talk around the community of this being a good little pickup. And oh, how we have been proven wrong. 0% over 3.5 years. And number 1 on the list, the worst sealed product that I've bought myself as an investment is the Darkness Ablaze Elite Trainer Box. And why is it the worst? Well, I've actually lost money on this. This is probably the only product I think that I've lost money on. And this goes back to that positive undertone that I was talking about, that, hey, look, if you've got 1 product or 2 or 3 or 4 in your collection amongst the midst of so many other products that you've lost money on, you've done pretty damn well. To talk you through where it sits with me, I paid about 50 US dollars for this box, and its current price on TCG Player is 36 US dollars. So it's actually down 28%, which is not good. And the reason for that is it got a late reprint, which hurt it, as did Vivid Voltage ETB. And I bought this like it was one of those ones I waited for. I was like, I'll wait and wait and wait and see if it gets a reprint. And then I was like, surely it's got to be out of that window where it's going to get a reprint. Prices have moved up a little bit, from sort of your 25, 30 US dollars up to 50 US dollars. And I thought, bang, it's time to pull the trigger because this is moving upwards. If I don't get it now, I could just miss out. It's got Eternatus on the cover. Is it the best Pokemon? Probably not. But hey, it's a cool looking box. The colors are nice. And I thought, this could be a little bit of a collectible item down the track, and oh, how it's proven me wrong, because it got a massive reprint, which really, really hurt its price, took it way back down to earth, and it's sort of been hovering around that 35 US dollar mark for a long period of time. So I've lost 28% on this box, and if I went to sell it, of course, I've lost even more. But hey, the positive undertone I was talking about, if I add up all 6 of my worst investments, I'm still 7.16% up. And that's not the worst result, is it, really? I know, of course, like I was saying the whole video, if I sold them and cop fees, of course, I'm probably down overall. But then you encompass that into the whole collection. And, I think somewhere in the vicinity, I haven't really done the maths on it, but I'm somewhere in the vicinity of probably 45 to 55% up on all items over the last 5 years. And that's not a bad return on investment, really, is it? So anyway, I just want to showcase the 6 worst investments I've got to give you a bit of a heads up. So things to take into consideration just to finalize the video. We don't always get it right. If you think printing's done, sometimes Pokemon will surprise you and another wave will come out and you'll get hit in the face or like pie in your face, and items that you've bought for a particular price could well and truly drop significantly. So keep that in the back of your mind.